Also 2411059. Jimmy Carter update now. I know you've been waiting for this. What do you mean there's a Jimmy Carter update? We haven't had Jimmy Carter update. What is the airport that renamed itself the Jimmy? Was it Americus? It's some god-awful, terrible place like that. They renamed their airport the Jimmy Carter Airport. It's a regional, basically flies from like Americus to some worse place like Albany. And I said, wow, this is fascinating. That means they mow the runway twice a week.
Well, people got
upset when I said that.
But Obama's campaign has been extraordinary.
Jimmy Carter update now.
Titillating.
Titillating.
We have 4 children with their spouses.
Oh, boy.
We have 11 grandchildren. 4 or 5 of them are married. And all of them except one are for Obama.
Yeah.
Our youngest son has been supporting John Edwards. I think that Obama will be almost automatically a healing factor in the animosity now and the distrust that relates to our country and its government. But so far, he's proven to be remarkably strong.
He's going to be a healing. No more distrust of government.
So we've been fascinated with Obama.
Jimmy Carter, the second stupidest president ever. Jimmy Carter now. that's I've never actually listened to what he said there. I always thought it was funny. Welcome back, Carter. Welcome back, Carter. We have said this is not the Obama presidency. This is actually the second term of the failed Jimmy Carter nightmare. And we said that back when he was nominated years ago on this show because Chad came up with that. The welcome back, Carter thing. We thought it was cute. But I've never actually listened to Jimmy Carter saying, oh, yeah, he'll be a healing process. No more distrust of government. Oh, my God. It is higher now than it's ever been before. I would think arguably distrust of the federal government is now at its highest. Maybe the passage of the Alien Sedition Act. And you got to go for a century for that. Jimmy Carter now offering unsolicited and just truly bizarre advice to Barack Obama about how to win re-election. Did Jimmy Carter win re-election? No! He got hammered in the greatest landslide in modern history. So, since he got his butt kicked, he knows what a butt kicking feels like, so here's his advice to Barack Obama. If your main goal is to get reelected, avoid a controversial subject as much as you can in the first term. Oh, Jimmy, buddy, that ship has sailed. Let's go through the accomplishments thus far. Obamacare, highly divisive. More people oppose Obamacare than favor Obamacare. This was rammed through on a Christmas Eve vote during a blizzard in Washington, D.C. That's true. Look up your history if you doubt me on this one. Obamacare is being sued now. The federal government faces lawsuits from 26 states. That's more than half. And more than half of the voting constituents out there don't like the idea. So if you want to get reelected, avoid controversy. Sure, okay, I can buy that. Hey, how about raising of the debt ceiling again and again? What are we at now, 16, 17 trillion? Pretty controversial. Most people don't like spending more money than is coming in. Hey, Obama, stop it already. Quit it. Jimmy Carter giving advice. Of course, Jimmy Carter says just about everything he did alienated voters, like when he gave away the Panama Canal to establishing diplomatic ties with China. Actually, if you look back at Jimmy Carter's term, one big thing he did that alienated voters, and you got to go way back on this one, guys. Panama Canal was a big issue. Telling people about the morass. No, the malaise. That's what it was, the malaise. Basically, we just didn't have our peppiness anymore. That hurt him. But also, when he went to Camp David by himself, true story, and he had the ultimate come-to-Jesus moment, he went back to Washington, D.C., and looked at his entire cabinet and said, I want everyone to resign. I think there was one guy he wanted to keep. Everybody's like, I want you gone, you gone. Jimmy Carter basically said he knew more than anybody because he's the smartest guy in the room. What, does this sound familiar now or what? Jimmy Carter now saying, yeah, just don't do anything too controversial, get reelected. No, I'm not buying that, Jim. Not going to buy it, especially look at the guy who did get reelected. Look at Reagan, what Reagan did. Don't do anything controversial, goes up to Gorbachev, says, tear down this wall. He's inking the SALT treaties in Reykjavik, Iceland. He is also reining in the federal government. He is also doing trickle-down economics. Did any of that sound controversial in the first term? It certainly was. Reagan got reelected in a landslide. It's not a matter if you're controversial or not, Mr. Carter. It's a matter if you pick the right side to be controversial on. Obama's just on the wrong side. Ergo ipso facto, Iowa is now important. New Hampshire is important. South Carolina is important. You go through the list. Whoever gets the Republican nomination, I am truly convinced is going to be the next president. That's why this exercise of Santorum versus Romney versus Paul versus whoever is actually a fairly big deal.